WLVS Radio, TVisionLive.com, man. Shout out everybody, man. Howard Homecoming. We get ready to do it on a major level and show you major love. Hey, can't tell you enough, man. We got to do it for the independent artists all around the world, especially everybody down at HU for Homecoming.
We got Howard Homecoming popping off. Georgia Avenue is crazy. Howard University right across the street. So Listen Vision is blasting off with the annual Howard Homecoming block party Friday and Saturday.
Do you right? Promise she would do you right, but this girl you do not right. I'll be on my way in like 5 minutes. Tell me if you wearing now, but
Start November 6th, you gonna catch the Eddie K show, WPFW 89.3.
With these masterminds, trying to be a legend, you're not just a rapper.
What you supposed to do? I wanted to find a thing. Nice and naked scrolls, I wanted designer.
Trap jumping, switch on spot every month. Run around, serving crackers and up, straight drops.
It's your girl Steph Lover, You can call me Miss 915 because I'm straight. Been in this game 20 plus years, you feel me? Out here, Howard University alumni. Yeah, I am. I don't know if you knew that, but yes, I am. And you know, I gotta give props to Listen Vision.
I still be trapping. I want them bitches blue, I want them bitches blue, baby.
Round round like taxi, yeah, you know that gas be. Round round like taxi, all my money is to me. Call my bluff.
Yo, 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 oh my goodness, it is Friday at 5 and you're tuned in to Hip Hop in Action. I'm Jeremy Beaver, CEO and founder of Listen Vision Studios and the Hip Hop Museum with my DJ, the one, the only...
B-Dub the Boy Wonder.
Hey, B-Dub.
Hey, sir, happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday to you.
Thank you.
Well, you're a DJ.
I am a DJ.
And my suspicion is you may not have been one if it weren't for our guest today.
My suspicion is that you're right. That you're right, but yes.
We have the biggest DJ icon, legend, pioneer in the history of hip-hop and maybe even music.
Oh, yeah. No pressure.
No pressure,
for me,
right,
all.
for us, right?
You know.
DJ Grand Wizzard Theodore, the inventor of the scratch and needle drop.
Yes, sir, yes.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that's an appropriate sound. That's an amazing. We have a big show today, but before we do any sort of show stuff, I want to do something a little special. DZ, I think there's a song that we might want to cut away to. And there's a reason we might want to cut away to this song. Let's cut away to that song, DZ. B-Dub. It's a very special day.
Oh.
And there's get a close up on this, DZ.
Oh, I'm
There's absolutely nothing more special than Ho-Hos, Oreos, and Rice Krispie treats. And I thought, man, if there's only one way to celebrate my DJ's birthday, it's with a pyramid of junk food. B-Dub, I love you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Oh, wow. I don't even... Oh, wow.
Let's put that down right there. Yeah, that's make a wish. Yeah,
I made 3 wishes. That's how I do it over
wow,
here, right?
Look at that. Look at that. Which piece of junk food are you going to eat first?
That looks very, that Rice Krispie treat right there.
Okay.
Very
Drop
very
a bomb
great,
on
so.
that. Yeah. All right. Great. Well, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
And salute to all the incredible, amazing DJs out there.
Yes, all the DJs and all the Libras.
But especially this guy, because I love him. And he's my DJ.
Thank you.
You can't have him. All right. Now,
back up, DZ.
Let's go back to our regularly scheduled program and a little segment, DZ, my reverb, a little segment we call Today. Right? Reverb. Ready? Here we go. Ready? Today in Hip Hop. All right. Well, that was Well, this is weak. We'll work on that, D's. Let's get my sidebar going. We got a great, great art show to tell everybody about. It's called Art vs. Transit, and it was put together by an amazing photographer named Henry Chalfant. If we can get, yes, thank you so much. It was a defining moment for Chalfant, who went on to become one of the premier photographers to document graffiti art on subway trains. His acclaimed images also captured graffiti artists as well as vibrant scenes of New York City street life in the 1970s and 80s. A retrospective of Chalfant's work, Art vs. Transit, 1977 through 87, opens on Wednesday, so it just opened the other day, at the Bronx Museum of Art. It first appeared in Madrid, curated by a Spanish artist. Let's a little more info here on the amazing guy. Okay, an artist and sculptor, Chalfant was intrigued by the artwork he spotted on trains as he traveled to and from his Upper West Side home. Chalfant chronicled the work of young artists now recognized as graffiti pioneers: Blaze, Crash, Daze, Dez, Kel, Mare, Scene, Scheme, and T-Kid from the Bronx, as well as Dondi, everyone knows, Futura, Lady Pink, Lee Quinones from Wild Style, and we'll talk about him today, and Zephyr. Henry's photos take great care to preserve the memory of this early and important cultural expression, said Deborah Cullen, executive director of the museum. It was often a race against time. Artists snuck into train yards armed with cans of spray paint. In the dark of night, they could also see their efforts quickly washed away by the New York City Transit Authority, embarked on several anti-graffiti campaigns. Chalfant had to come up with a way to photograph these fleeting canvases as they rolled in and out of the subway stations. He developed a segmented technique by snapping pictures of different sections of the train and then slicing them together. In the years before photoshopping, this was a painstaking process. He was eventually able to purchase a motor drive that allowed him to shoot images in quick succession. Anyways, we have a video from the first hip-hop comic illustrator, Eric Orr, was at the grand opening of this amazing art exhibit in the Bronx Museum. DZ, let's play him what that looks like. There you have it. That's an intimate look inside this incredible art show that's right now at the Bronx Museum. Art vs. Transit. Go check it out immediately, and shout out Eric Orr, the amazing comic book illustrator of the world's first hip-hop comic book, Max Robot. Anyways, let's get into some more news today in hip-hop. Def Jam has re-signed DMX. That's word. Well, someone's excited. Shit. Not only have they re-signed DMX, but he's also appearing in the next issue of GQ magazine, or this current issue, okay? And there are rumors that he's coming out with a DMX Mass Christmas album. Do you get it? DMX Mass Christmas album? That's not a joke. That's really rumored to be happening. And apparently Def Jam is starting to catch the wind of what, we're trying to do over here with preserving these incredible legends.
Well, I only got one thing to say then. DMX, get at me, dog.
Get at me, dog. Yo. First of all, I'm anticipating this next album because I saw that Swiss Beats might be producing some new tracks. He said that on the Breakfast Club. Okay, Def Jam has also re-signed LL Cool J. What is going on? This is amazing. Finally.
Ladies love me too, you know what I mean?
Lick your lips more. Okay, now in, I guess, different news, or not different, but like, you know, this is cutting edge stuff and the laws are still being kind of created. Eminem is suing Spotify for $36 million and is claiming that they have been streaming a lot of his material either without permission or without paying him. And so, yeah, that's a problem. So I think it goes to show that, you know, the entire streaming situation hasn't fully been worked out just yet. Okay. October 11th and 12th, if you were watching the intro of our show, Howard Homecoming, our 15th year in a row here at Listen Vision Studios, is going to be October 11th and 12th. There are literally like 2 or 3 slots left. So if you still want one and you somehow are catching this, call 202-332-8494 or go to listenvision.com. There's only a couple slots left if you actually want to perform for Howard Homecoming. Okay? Man, I love Naughty by Nature. I think they're really underappreciated, but had a huge impact, obviously, and still do, on hip-hop. They're playing with Diggable Planets and Black Sheep on November 23rd at Franklin Music Hall in Philadelphia, which is always a dope place to go see a show. Love Philadelphia. Also, there's a new book alert. Well, there's a couple new book alerts. One is on our set, and this one is from Nas, and that's coming up soon, dropping, called I Know I Can, like his song. And I just think that's dope. Anyone that does a hip-hop kids book is cool by me. I think hip-hop is great for education and helping kids like even myself stay focused and not become a criminal. That's probably why I'm not a criminal today. It's only because of hip-hop. New video alert. Black Moon Rise from their upcoming album, recorded and mixed by Jake Palumbo. Black Moon has a brand new music video for their brand new single, and their album is dropping on October 18th. I love everything Duck Down, and if anyone knows me, knows I'm OCD addicted to Sean Price. Like literally obsessively compulsed with Sean Price.
Facts.
So shout out Bernadette as well. Jake Palumbo. You want to send me an advance copy? I'm okay with that. You got my email, brother. Okay, another new video alert is Nas, who's got a new video from his latest album, The Lost Tapes, called War Against Love. I watched it. I listened to it. Everyone knows I'm not the biggest fan of this new album offering, but this may be the best track on there, so go check that out. Also, Rakim sat down for an entire hour with The Breakfast Club the other day, and he was talking about, you know, his new book, and he even mentioned Sadat X and how he really appreciated Sadat X's flow, and he was talking about how he even produced some of his beats that we didn't even know he actually produced. Okay, and if you want to come back to me, DZ, we have his new book right here on set. Here we are. Sweat the Technique is his brand new book. Okay, we just picked it up, and I'd like to read I'd like to read an excerpt. When I was 7, I wrote my first rhyme. I had seen guys on the block rhyming and wanted to try it. I wrote, Mickey Mouse built a house. He built it by the border. An earthquake came and rocked his crib, and now it's in the water. That's literally what he wrote. Now I had the DJing bug. With some life experience and some work on my vocabulary, I could start bringing things together. That's an actual excerpt from the new Rakim book, Sweat the Technique, and my DJ's amazing because now he's playing Know the Ledge. Oh, God. Okay, there we go. Okay, what else we got here? New books, new Rakim. Ooh. You know, I love him as Mos Def, but he calls himself Yasin Bey, and he's going to be playing the Howard Theater on the November 27th. So, honestly, to me, Mos Def is in my top 5. So if he's not in your top 5, I don't know, man. I don't know if we can be friends. He's amazing to me. We played that. Oh, okay. Here's the last piece of the news, and then we're going to have our amazing guest with us via Skype, Grand Wizzard Theodore. But the very last piece of news is this video. Okay, now this is a video from Roxanne Shante. Okay, now Roxanne Shante everybody knows, is one of the preeminent and legendary female MCs, and she's taking the hashtag Pass the Mic challenge for Grandmaster Kaz's new book called Written, which is absolutely amazing. So let's check out this video, and when we return, the inventor of the scratch, wild style legend, pioneering member of everything hip-hop and DJ, Grand Wizzard Theodore is going to be with us, so stay tuned.
Now this is a lesson I got to teach right here on Venice Beach. As you know, I'ma say it fast, cause this is about who? Grandmaster Caz. And you know he got a brand new book. You know you're gonna wanna take a look. And when it comes to a hip hop class, who can teach it? Grandmaster Caz. That's right, y'all. As you can see, I'm the ROXANNE. Got Banger Brown right here with me. And that's about it from present to past. Who's the best? Grandmaster Caz. Please believe it, baby. Go get that motherfucking book. Now this is a lesson I got to teach right here on Venice Beach. As you know, I'ma say it fast, cause this is about who? Grandmaster Caz. And you know he got a brand new book. You know you're gonna wanna take a look. And when it comes to a hip hop class, who can teach it? Grandmaster Caz. That's right, y'all. As you can see, I'm the ROXANNE. Got Banger Brown right here with me. And that's about it from present to past. Who's the best? Grandmaster Caz. Please believe it, baby. Go get that motherfucking book. Now this is a lesson I got to teach right here on Venice Beach. As you know, I'ma say it fast, cause this is about who? Grandmaster Caz. And you know he got a brand new book. You know you're gonna wanna take a look. And when it comes to a hip hop class, who can teach it? Grandmaster Caz. That's right, y'all. As you can see, I'm the ROXANNE. Got Banger Brown right here with me. And that's about it from present to past. Who's the best? Grandmaster Caz. Please believe it, baby. Go get that motherfucking book.
Oh my goodness, we are back, and we are with one of the most impressive, iconic, legendary, influential human beings, not DJs, human beings in the history of music. The one and only Grand Wizzard Theodore is with us right now. How are you, sir?
Good, I'm good. What's going on, man?
Oh, man, you look amazing. Oh, great angle. You're looking good. You're sounding good. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to see another day, man. You know.
Oh, that's great. Starting any day with being grateful and appreciative, I think, is so important, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so we always start off all of our interviews, and to me, I'm an old hip hop DJ, and we got my DJ B-Dub. B-Dub, say hi.
What's going on, sir? How are you? Pleased to meet you.
Peace, man. Happy birthday.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh my God, I know that just made his whole life. Thank you for doing that, Theodore. That just made his life. He's trying not to smile hard right now. Listen, we always start with the same question. Okay, and your answer, I think I kind of know, but we have to do it. We ask all the legends. Always the very first question is, what really got you into, and I don't want to call it hip hop because at that time it was barely hip hop. Okay, but what got you into wanting to create hip hop, and in your case, become a DJ as a very young child?
Well, I will say that I'm trying to get my camera straight here. I would say that I was born into this culture, man. I was born into it. It's like being born. You're not asked to be born, but I was born into this culture. This culture was here before I got here, and to be a part of something that's bigger than I am, man, I just feel so very blessed, man. You know.
Well, as a young child, you had a lucky break in that you had an older brother. Tell me about your older brother, Mean Gene.
Yeah, I had an older brother, Mean Gene, and an older brother, Cordio. They was down with Grandmaster Flash, and when I seen them with 2 turntables and a mixer, that right there, that's what I knew what I wanted to do in life.
And how old were you when they let you first touch the turntables?
I had to be about 11 years old. About 11 years old, yeah.
And when did they start DJing? Because that's so young. When did they start?
Well, my brother Mean Gene and Grandmaster Flash, I think they were DJing like in 73, 72, 73, something like that, And it just so amazing that I was able to, experience that, man, because a lot of people didn't get to experience that. So I'm glad I got to experience that.
For those that are just tuning in now, we have a very special treat for everybody. At the end of this show, we're going to be world premiering a mini documentary movie that's about you and your life and the invention of the scratch, directed by Cortez McKay. What was it like? The movie's going to depict it, but what was it like having to not compete, but kind of jostle for space with your 2 brothers who are already kind of doing it? How did they let you into the circle? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't see it as jostling for space. I would look at it as like, we all have a love for music. As far like living in the house, a single parent home, our moms and stuff like that. When she was happy, she played music. When she was sad, she played music. When she was cooking, she played music. When she was mad and about to whip some butt, she played some butt whipping music. So we were always around music. We watched Soul Train. Our relatives would come over on the weekends and they would cook dinner and stuff like that. So music was like a part of our lives, a part of the soundtrack to our lives, man. So I'm just so very happy, man, that to be a part of something that's bigger than I am.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ever since your invention and since the advent of DJing, you could make a really good argument that music has never been the same in a good way, but that the advent of the DJ and especially the advent of the scratch changed the complexion and the sound and the culture of music forever. What does that feel like to you?
Oh, it feels good because as a DJ, scratching was a way for me to express myself. Scratching was a way for me to show what kind of swag I had, what kind of rhythm that I had in my body, what kind of rhythm I had in my brain, and scratching was a way for me to display it to the people. You can be scratching and people can tell what kind of mood that you're in. I can get up and start scratching and I can be in a bad mood, or I can get up and start scratching and I can be in a good mood, or I can be scratching, making a mixtape for a young lady, and you can see how my mood is and stuff like that. So scratching was just a way for me to express myself and a way for DJs around the world to express themselves.
And what did you do first, just chronologically? Were you needle dropping first or were you scratching first?
Needle drop, definitely.
Okay.
My mom's had a record player in the house that looked like a coffin. With the TV was in the front.
Yeah.
You lift the coffin up and look inside. You got the 8-track there.
It was wood, right? It was made of wood.
They were there.
Yeah.
I would play her 45s, and when it got to the break part of the 45, whether the 45 break part is at the beginning, what is in the middle, or what is in the end, I would end up picking the needle up and skipping it back to the break part of the record, not knowing that I was developing the needle drop style, and when I got on the big turntables, the needle drop style was already there.
Was easier to do on a regular turntable than your mom's coffin.
Absolutely.
So was Cordio or Gene, did they catch wind of what you were doing on the coffin?
Absolutely. We all would play music, and in the my mom's record player from time to time, and they would probably walk by and see me skipping a record, playing music and stuff like that, and be like, what's this guy doing? And just keep walking and keep it moving and stuff like that,
So we have an incredible clip of you because of course we'd love to have you in the studio, but because we can't have you in the studio, we have a whole bunch of videos today to illustrate to our viewers exactly what you're talking about. Now, as if needle dropping isn't hard enough, we have a video of you doing it blindfolded. DZ, we have a video that's called Needle Dropping Blindfolded. You see that one, Deez?
Wow.
Okay, so here we go. This is what needle dropping looks like, which is already kind of impossible because no one's hand is steady enough and a million other and the needles usually sucked. But this guy can do it blindfolded. Take it away. Let's look at this video. Oh my God, that's crazy!
Yeah, shout out to KRS-One for letting me, share the stage with him, man. Shout out.
Not just share the stage with him, he put you in his song.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about his beyond. Okay, so what I did is, because this is, to me, my favorite interview. Theodore, you're beyond a hero to me. So we have a little tiny 3-inch world's smallest turntable. Look at this. This is the world's smallest turntable. Can you see that?
That's incredible. Wow.
Okay, ready? So here what we're going to do. We're going to really do this. This is my little trick or my little whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do. Here I go. Ready? I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm just trying to show people how hard. Deez, you're going to have to try to zoom in on this, okay? Here we go. I'm turning the turntable on.
Oh, we got it here. Let me come down.
Okay. I've turned it on. Okay, you're coming down. The mic's on the little speaker here. Ready? I'm going to just
Wow.
I did it. Oh my God. Holy shit. I actually did it. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Holy.
Nice.
Oh my God. I thought I would. Oh my God. Oh my God. What the?
Incredible.
That actually worked. Oh,
yes,
man.
yes.
Okay, well, let me just tell you. Any DJ will tell you, needle dropping is impossible. It's not a normal thing that anyone would even think to do. Tell me, when you guys were doing all these mixtapes and you were with your brothers and you were, starting to get your DJ chops before scratching or anything like that, what was the concept behind what you guys wanted to do? Was it just DJ at parties, or where did you think you could go with this when you were little?
Well, I mean, it was our environment. We basically wanted a way to get away from the everyday problems that we was having, whether it be, single parent homes, going to school and still not learning anything. Gang violence in the city. The city not putting no more money back into the community. The landlords couldn't get no one to move into their apartment buildings, so they started burning all of the apartment buildings. That's why it was a lot of
vacant,
abandoned, a lot of burnt buildings in the Bronx and stuff like that. And the way for us to get away from all that stuff, the B-boys started B-boying, the MCs started MCing, the graffiti writers started writing with different colors, red, blue, orange, yellow, depending upon how they were feeling. And the DJs were playing music, and the music would take us to a happy place, and that's what we were doing, and that's how hip hop was formed.
Yeah.
We reinvented. We didn't create hip hop. We reinvented it. That's what we did.
Well, Kaz has a great line that he says is like, hip hop didn't invent anything; it reinvented everything.
True statement. True statement.
Yeah. And speaking of Kaz, DZ, if we can just zoom in on it today on the set, we actually have Theodore. Believe it or not, you and I didn't want to say it, but we've met in person. And we met in person at the 35th anniversary of Wild Style at the Kennedy Center, where the entire cast of the movie, yourself and Freddie and Kaz and Busy and Charlie, Ahern, everyone signed this limited edition book of 45s from the movie. And as if this isn't all enough,
that's incredible.
Because of the Hip Hop Museum. And this is in the Hip Hop Museum, by the way, Theodore. DZ, as if that's not enough, we also have... Can we zoom in on this, DZ? The actual ticket from... A little too bright? Oh, there we go. Wild Style 35th Anniversary Screaming.
Okay. That's incredible.
So this is in our museum. Okay, and when we're all done with, the interview today, we'll talk to you about what other, pieces you want to represent your career in the museum. But it's the world's largest collection of hip-hop artifacts and memorabilia, and it's also the world's only hip-hop museum. And so we think you're very special.
Incredible.
So let's get right into things, okay? Bronx, late 70s. You start to make tapes, mixtapes. Do you recall the very first mixtape you ever made?
I think that one of the very first mixtapes I made was probably with my brothers and stuff like that, because all the equipment that they practiced on was in my mom's house. So they would end up making mixtapes from time to time, and I would probably, end up playing like 1 or 2 records or something like that. But as far as me personally, I think one of the first mixtapes I made was the mixtape I made for my school. When I actually created the scratch. My principal played music through the loudspeakers in the lunchroom in Morris High School in my last year of junior high school. And a friend of mine convinced my principal to let me make a cassette tape. So I went home, took my boombox, put it in front of the speaker, started making my cassette tape. The music that we had was in my mom's house, so the music was so loud to the point where my mom's came, she busted in the door, well, it seemed like she busted in the door. She came in the door and was like, either turn the music down or turn the music off. So during those couple of seconds, which seemed like an eternity, that's when I actually created the scratch.
And this is all depicted in the movie that's being premiered at the end of the show. So that's the beautiful part of this. But you're telling me that not only at the same time were you accidentally creating what became the scratch, but you were also recording your first mixtape?
Yes. I was actually recording my first mixtape.
Here's a crazy question, because I think I know the answer, because it probably doesn't, but does that tape still exist?
No. Well, I actually made it and gave it to my principal. I don't know if he waited and and put it on eBay when eBay came out, and bought a house. So I don't know what
bought
he
a
did
house,
with it.
right? Oh, you could buy a few houses with that tape, my friend. I just had to ask. But let's talk about how cool your principal was, who was like, "Yeah, oh, you're a DJ? Yeah, let's totally play like DJ mixes during lunch." Like, what type of cool principal is that?
Yeah, he played music through the loudspeakers. I was trying to figure out like how he did it. He had like a little small boombox in his office, and then he had a microphone in his office. So he would cut the boombox on and put the microphone near the boombox, and he would click a button and to choose where the music can be played, either in the lunchroom or in individual class. So by him playing the music in the lunchroom, everybody that came and ate lunch was able to enjoy the music that he was playing.
Did you tell your friends, "Hey, that's me"?
They pretty much knew. Some of them knew, because we were spending more time in the lunchroom than we should have. We were instead of me being there for my lunch break, I was in there for a couple of lunch breaks.
Just
so when my lunch
to your
break was
own
over,
mix.
I ended up staying in the lunchroom.
That's hilarious. So, I mean, that's really rare. I mean, we're talking about, your principal, saying you can do this mix, and then you go home and you do the mix, and then you accidentally come up with the scratch, and it's actually recorded onto the tape. I mean, there's just so many stars and moons aligning to make that moment happen. Have you kind of considered that in the years since, how that's a really special moment?
Yeah, I mean, I really honestly feel that everything happens for a reason, and this was definitely was supposed to happen, I mean, our lives are planned out for us. We just have to be ready for it, and I honestly feel that was definitely planned out, and I'm just happy that, like I said earlier, I was happy to be a part of something that's bigger than I am.
Yeah. Well, let's fast forward a little bit, because you then started linking up and work becoming under the tutelage of Grandmaster Flash. Tell me about, and then later on we're gonna actually in a second play your induction into the Guitar Center Rock Walk. But tell us about working with Grandmaster Flash and what that was like to have somebody else who was equally as passionate about DJing and hip hop.
Well, Grandmaster Flash and my brother Mean Gene, they were a group together, and I was just one of the people helping carry the crates, helping carry the speakers, helping carry the amplifiers. I used to go down to this place called Downstairs Records, where a friend of ours used to work down there, and he had 45s, and we used to buy 45s from down there, and he used to play 45s like all day long, and he had a pinball game there, so everybody would go and play pinball, and if you hit 10,000 points on the pinball machine, he would actually give you a 45.
Stop it.
So I was like a little pinball wizard. So I was down there playing pinball, ended up buying 145s, and then end up winning another 45. So I used to come home with a couple of 45s and give them to my brother Mean Gene and Grandmaster Flash, and they would have extra 45s to play.
Yo, wait, does that have anything to do with your name? Pinball Wizard, Grand Wizard Theodore?
No, I wish. My MCs, Fantastic Five, was actually the ones that gave me that name, Grand Wizard, because I used to play records one behind the other. Used to, just special things that I did with records. They say like you're like the wizard behind the turntables, so that's where the Grand Wizard came.
Do you remember who said that to you?
It was Kevin and Robbie Robb that was down with the L Brothers.
So we would like to ask you, that the Fantastic Five was, really one of the most influential, hip hop groups of all time, and really set the standard and tone for a lot of a lot of things that came after you guys. Can you tell me how you became part of that whole group in that situation? How you guys all came together?
Well, when the L brothers, when we decided to go our separate ways, I had Kevy Kev and Robbie Rob and Ruby D. They came along with me, and then I had Busy B Starsky. So I had like fantastic 4 MCs. Then Busy B went on to get down with Cool DJ AJ and Cool D, and he was just bouncing around from different crews. That's how Busy B was. I mean, he's a soloist MC. So when I had Kevy Kev, Robbie Rob, and Ruby D, the 3 MCs, we was traveling around, doing venues and stuff like that. And then we ran into Salt and Pepper MCs, original Salt and Pepper MCs, which was Battle Rock, God bless him, and Prince Whipper Whip. And when I put them down with me, that's when it became Fantastic Five.
And what was the atmosphere like? Because, being in a group is always difficult. Hip-hop at that time was a very different atmosphere than, let's say, hip-hop is now, and we work here at the largest and oldest recording studio in Washington, D.C., Listen Vision, and one of the difficult things we always have is seeing groups or bands that, kind of have difficulty sticking together and working together. What was it like working together with the Fantastic Five?
Well, I mean, I went to school with Waterbed Kev and stuff like that, and I've known his brother Master Rob for a long time. We all grew up together. Anytime you have a group, there's always going to be different personalities and stuff like that. And I'm not going to sit here and say it was easy for me to keep the group together. It definitely was not easy.
Okay, well, no one ever said, that's the problem, is that, you see all these amazing groups and you think, oh, that's the formula. And then you actually do it and you go, oh, wait, this is actually really hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get, 5 people to be thinking on, one
Same
level
page,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. But, we made it work. We made it work. And if I was to go back, I wouldn't change anything.
Well, you shouldn't, because we're about to play one of the crowning jewels of the Fantastic Five as your guys' incredible features in the world's first hip-hop movie, Wild Style. So, DZ, we have a clip there that's called Wild Style and the Fantastic Five featuring the Cold Crush Brothers. Let's show everybody one of the most influential groups and movie scenes in the history of hip-hop. Take it away.
Yo, I'm not gonna finish my piece, man. Not with this lady around, man. That's just... Yo, what the fuck is this shit, man? I don't like that shit, man. I don't want no fucking pictures taken of my shit, man.
Relax.
Nah, man, that shit is fucked up, man. That shit can get us busted over here, man. Don't you relax that shit, Fade?
Relax, man. It's for the
Nah, I'm not gonna relax, man. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Look, we got a car. She's got a car parked right over there, man. It's no
So let's get the fuck out of here.
Well, come on, let's go then. Fuck it.
Fantastic 5 MCs, and we're pleasing all the ladies. And when we shock the party and do it right, they seem to all go crazy. They go crazy. We're the best, we pass the test. For better or less, we don't mean to arrest. We improve our finesse till the ladies say yes. Till the 5 MCs, I know the prime best. We can do it, and shock and amaze, and make all the ladies stand in the day. We can steal your heart, all break it apart. We're number one on the MC chart. You might try to deny it, other MC try to fight it. When it comes to throwing joints, you better not try it. Please, Mr. Grand Wizard, please give it to the gents and the young ladies.
I told you from the start, I will take your heart. Not stupid or crazy, I will just far smart. I'm a Virgo, the new one thing. The next thing you know, you be under the way. Well, listen, say for everybody, not only just you. Monkey see, monkey view. I don't think I'm fly, you can't deny. Better be Dr. Rock as I am, but I got a Ruby D. A Ruby D, my brother, my man. Just get on the mic and take the man.
Well, Ruby D is my name, and I'm a Puerto Rican. You might think I'm black by the way I'm speaking. I'm slick, I'm happy with a lot of guns. That's the reason I attract all the sweet fly girl. The other reason is style and profile. The makes all the lady know I'm worth the fight. Cause I'm too hot to burn. You go to hoes, Ruby D's in the place. face, and you must say though that I'm bad, super bad, always bad. I'm the man. Keep on and rock the house. Come on, come on, come on. Let me turn it out. I mess around, guaranteed to make a microphone sing. Walking around, putting your down, and all the ladies know you out of the next singing. Get on your mic and tell them it ain't no thing.
To the beat, y'all, it's so very unique. Cause the rhythm of the sound gets down so quick. My skill and occupation is rapping on the mic. The reason that I do it, cause that's what I like. Got the capability to do other things. Be in the movie. What is that? I'll be a pimp, a pusher, and executive. With the party room mansion, that's how I live. Eat the finest food, drink exclusive wine, and search for a girl.
My goodness, we are back. I'm Jeremy Beaver, CEO and founder of Listen Vision Studios and the Hip Hop Museum with my DJ, the one, the only.
B-Dub the Boy Wonder.
And we are talking with DJ icon, legend, scratch inventor, needle drop inventor, Grand Wizzard Theodore. Thanks again for being with us.
Yeah, man. Looking at that clip, man, I could never get tired of looking at that, man. Never get tired of looking at that. That's like that's the history right there. Like that's the closest anybody will ever come to actually being there back in the 70s, man. You know?
And what was it like on set? What was that feeling? Do you remember that scene?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of the scenes that we did in Wild Style was natural to us because we were in our natural habitat, you know? You know, we could just cut the microphones on, cut the turntables on, and we just do what we do. That was so natural for us.
So let me ask you something, because I was asking Queen Lisa Lee about this, and she wasn't aware that Charlie, when we were at the Kennedy Center for that 35th anniversary thing, I had asked Charlie, they asked the questions, I stood up and I said, hey, Charlie, you know, the audio quality of the final Wild Style movies, like bizarrely good, especially for that time. You know, how did you guys get the recordings and the audio so good? And he actually answered at that time saying that they had recorded the entire movie, filmed the whole movie once, but that the audio was so bad they had to refilm and record the entire movie. Were you aware of that when he said that?
Yes, he definitely was aware of that. Yeah, because you know, Charlie had done a lot of stuff, and I think that he was still learning a lot of stuff as he was going along, because, you know, getting into the hip hop world, it was like a whole new world for him, you know?
Right.
And I feel that by him doing it over again, it was just him like, you know, I got to do this right, because people are going to be looking at this 10, 15 years, and it's got to be right. So I'm very happy that Charlie decided to record a lot of stuff over again, because
were you in the original filmings at all?
Excuse me?
Like the stuff, the footage in that, like he said he, like, let's say, filmed the whole thing in October and scrapped it and then had to refilm it all in like January or February. Were you in any of those original filmings that weren't the resulting movie?
Yes, Charlie Ahern has a lot of original shots that nobody had ever seen before. You know, a lot of fish that no one ever seen before. And I think that it's cool that he has that. And I hope that he puts out behind the scenes or something like that.
Okay,
you know?
Okay. I've been trying to research this for some time. So I think you just confirmed this, because I'm going to talk to Charlie. There's a whole nother version of Wild Style, isn't there?
I believe so. I believe so.
Yo, that's the craziest thing ever. Can you imagine if, like, next year or something, like, Wild Style, you know how, like, they do the prequels in Star Wars? There's like a Wild Style prequel. That would be wild. That would really.
Holding it. I don't know if he's holding it in his back pocket or holding it in the sleeve, but I honestly do believe that there's a lot of footage that no one has never seen yet, you know?
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, I'm getting too excited. We'll get to more of that later. Okay, listen, we have so many things to play and to show. You know, we were talking about Grandmaster Flash. Sorry, brain fart. That's what happens when you get to my age. So Grandmaster Flash, you know, and you worked notoriously together early in the days. And then there's another DJ who, whenever you mention Grandmaster Flash and Grand Wizzard Theodore, you always want to mention, you know, DST or DXT, because the three of you guys had just a bizarre influence on DJing that I haven't seen up until I saw maybe like Qbert and Craze. I hadn't really seen, there was kind of like no evolution and innovation in DJing until like 10, 20 years later after what you guys did. So I just want to show everybody your induction into the Guitar Center Rock Walk. And as far as I understand, you're the only DJs that have been inducted, and you were inducted by Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
let's take it away. Show them that video.
Wow.
This is a very, very special day for me. This is the day that we induct 3 of my heroes into Guitar Center's Rock Walk. This is the first DJ induction, which says a lot about the DJ culture and just how far we've come. I don't think anyone today denies the power and how large the DJ is. And it's great to understand that these 3 guys are part of the forefathers to make it as big as it is today.
Please welcome Grand Wizzard Theodore. I'm just so happy to be here because I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this culture, into this art form that we call hip hop. When I first seen 2 turntables in the mixer with Grandmaster Flash and my brother Mean Gene, that's when I decided what I wanted to do in life.
The next presenter is a legend. He's a legend's legend. Put your hands together for the
There it was. And look, speaking of Qbert, he's the one who introduced you.
Yeah, that was definitely an honor when he introduced me, because, by him being one of the DJs that's taking this art form to the, taking it to that next level, man. I was definitely honored to see him introduce me, and that was also my birthday too.
No,
so
what an incredible present.
Yeah.
Well, you've done some really amazing things that are really hard to describe. And another thing that you've done, speaking of Qbert, because Qbert, invented that QFO turntable. You remember that?
Yes, I have one.
Great. I figured. Well, you've also scratched on another thing. Do you recall scratching on something called a scratchophone?
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Okay, so today's all about Grand Wizzard Theodore and the insane innovations and scratching and everything he's done. Let's show Grand Wizzard Theodore scratching on a scratchophone.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's hot.
Oh my goodness, so many questions. If you're just tuning in, I'm Jeremy Beaver, CEO and founder of Listen Vision and the Hip Hop Museum with my DJ, the one, the only
B-Dub the Boy Wonder.
And we are talking with scratch icon, pioneering DJ himself, Grand Wizzard Theodore. Do we still have him, DZ?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still there. Okay, we're getting you back on the screen. Can you explain? I have so many questions after seeing that video. I don't even know which one to start with. First of all, I think it's a Swedish or Polish guy who invented that. We reported on the prototype when he first came out with it. What was that like? What is that thing like? Explain it to us.
It's really cool. He's a very humble guy, and I think he's very smart. to even construct something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I would have never thought of doing anything like that. And I, you know, take my hat off to him, man, for even coming up with something like this. It's a really, really good invention. I just wish that it would have got a little bit further in the market, so that DJs on stage that got like a MC can be able to do his scratches in front of the stage instead of being in the back of the stage behind the MC and stuff like that. And you know, it was really cool. It had the harness, you know, the turntable on the top. It had the crossfader on the side and stuff like that. It wasn't that heavy.
Did it have line outs? Was there a line out on it?
Excuse me?
Did it have a line out, like a RCA or XLR to, or is
yes,
it?
Yes, it did. You can plug it up to a speakers so it can be amplified.
How come the arm wasn't moving? The arm that, you know what I mean? It was like this, you know, but the arm wasn't moving. How did he keep the arm stationary?
Yeah, I think the way he kept the arm stationary was like the arm was made out of some kind of a metal, where you can just take the needle and put it on the record, and it won't skip, and it won't skate across the record. And the way he did it was like ingenious, man. And let me say once again, you know, it was incredible the way he constructed that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we got it. Hats off to, you know, anyone that's trying to advance DJ culture, right? Is that our theory?
Absolutely.
Like, what do you think of the new, what do they call the mix? The little things that you put in the middle of the turntable, and it's just a controller. Have you seen them? What are those things called? It's a square. It looks like a USB stick, and it attaches simply to just the middle of the record. Have you seen those?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
And
no,
it's
so much stuff coming
and it's
out.
just a controller. It's just a controller.
I think Q-Bert put out something called Proton or whatever it is.
That's what it is. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
you can like shake the record in the air and scratch with it. Have you seen that?
Oh, that's the phase.
Phase. There we go.
Yeah, you don't need no needle.
Yeah.
All you need is just phase and stuff like that.
Have you used those?
That's cool. That's really cool.
Have you ever used the phase?
It's cool that there's so many different things coming out that takes the DJ thing to another level and stuff like that. And I just hope that, you know, we can just keep this going, man, and my kids and your kids can be able to enjoy this DJing thing like we enjoy it, you know?
Yeah. And in fact, you know, me as an old DJ, obviously DJing got me into hip-hop. I'm only slightly younger than you, but, you know, I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, you know, in New York City. I'm from Brooklyn. And to me, hip-hop was all around us. Do you know what I mean? If you were growing up in especially the 80s in New York City, breakdancing, graffiti, hip-hop was everything. It was the culture that we all grew up in. And I know a lot of people that got into hip-hop instead of some bad stuff, you know, criminal stuff, you know, and I could only imagine how many lives hip-hop has saved.
Absolutely. It saved a lot of people's lives. It saved mine too.
Yeah, right?
You know?
So check this out. Everyone's excited. Our studio audience is very excited. We have your brand new movie called Itching for a Scratch. I got to tell you, I'm super impressed with the director, Cortez McKay, who put together a really kind of beautiful and poignant and concise understanding of exactly what happened that day. What do you think of the story he told?
Yeah, Cortez and myself, we got together and, you know, to write the story and everything and make sure the story was told right. And, you know, Cortez, you know, his directing skills is definitely on point. You know, the cinematography and stuff like that, the right angles, you know, us being able to record in the apartment and stuff like that, and we getting the cameras and stuff like that, and the way everything was written. I am very satisfied of how we did it and the audio and stuff like that. And shout out to little Mikey and stuff like that for portraying, you know, a little Grand Wizzard Theodore and stuff like that. And you can also see Mikey on Hulu he's actually playing one in the Wu-Tang Clan and stuff like that. You know,
that's right. Let's
he's
talk
playing,
about him. So the young man, Mikey, Mr. Him Cooper, who played young Grand Wizard Theodore, after his role, then immediately landed the role of Jizza as a young child in the Wu-Tang Hulu series. So if that doesn't just that just shows, you know, what an incredible job he did with your role.
Yeah, absolutely, man. My hat's off to him. I sat in the room with him and took him through a Scratch Academy course on how to hold a record and how to do the scratches and stuff like that, and how to move his body and stuff like that. And I had a brand new pair of earphones, so we had to beat up the earphones and put some tape around it and step on it and drop it out the window and throw it in the trash for a couple of hours and let him wear it so that it can get weared out. So it was really, really cool, man.
I thought that was one of my favorite parts of the whole little movie is that each scene is very true to the time and the era. I thought Cortez did a great job of paying attention to even the background posters of Bruce Lee. You know, attention to detail is amazing.
Yes.
Also, a big shout out to the actress who plays your mom, Kalila Bates.
Yes, Kalila. She definitely did a good job too, man.
Can your mom
frying that chicken and stomping in the room, and she did an excellent job, man. Shout out to Kalila too, man.
Shout out to everybody. But before we debut the movie, let's quickly show this little video about the director Cortez and what he's trying to accomplish with this movie. DZ, do you have that quick clip about the director? Okay, let's play that.
Hi, my name is Cortez McKay, and I am the CEO and founder of birthofhiphop.com. Birth of Hip Hop is a website of dramatic films depicting the hip-hop culture. We produce a series of narrative films which includes music, dance, art, fashion and politics, and more. We began our series with Itching for a Scratch, which tells the story of Theodore Livingston, known as DJ Grand Wizard Theodore. At the age of 11, he discovered an art form of turntablism known as scratching vinyl records and the needle drop, which is now used worldwide by DJs. Theodore was gracious enough to not only allow us to tell his story, but to become a crucial aspect of the filmmaking process by technically consulting on the set.
Just remember, like if you on this, when you on that turntable, you're playing with this side because this side is your crossfade right here. And then when you go to this side, then you're gonna go to that side, right? And just take your time. And when you let the record go, just everything is slow now. Everything is really slow. All right? Take your time. All right? There you go. Right, just like that. There you go.
I would like to thank Theodore for allowing us to tell his story as a part of hip-hop history, and also thank Hip Hop in Action for screening Itching for a Scratch. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Man, that's incredible. If you're just tuning in, we are about to world premiere Grand Wizard Theodore's mini documentary, Itching for a Scratch, directed by Cortez McKay. DZ, can we get Grand Wizard Theodore back up on the screen there? Let's, Theodore, tell us, what words would you like to give everybody and new people that might want to DJ, right? Tell them about, what you want to accomplish, going forth, what this movie educationally can do to tell your story. What would you like to accomplish with this?
Well, first thing I want to say is if you get into the culture, into the art form, learn the history of it. Learn about Africa Bambaataa, Grandmaster Flash, Grand Wizard Theodore, the L Brothers, the Cold Crush Brothers, the Fantastic Five. Learn about the graffiti artists. Learn about the New York City Breakers. Learn about the Rocksteady crew. Learn about the whole entire culture, and it'll make you better and give you a better understanding on what the culture is. Because we live this. It's not like we get up in the morning and say, okay, I'm gonna do hip hop for a couple of hours. We live, sleep, eat, drink, everything hip hop all day, every day, 366 days a year. That's what we do. And if you were to get into this culture, to this art form, you have to learn about the origins. about this culture. You know, learn that we didn't invent hip hop. Hip hop was always here since the beginning of time. You know, when you go back to the early days, where the high, people, you got the tribes people would sit the kids around the fire and tell them stories. You know, that's the MC. And then you got the African people that used to beat on the drums. You know, that's the DJ. And then when you go inside the caves and see the hieroglyphics on the wall, teaching people about, the language we used to speak and the utensils we used to use and the people we used to look up to. That's a graffiti artist, you know. And then you got the tribes people that's telling the story to the people. That's the MC right there.
Right.
So hip hop was here for the beginning of time. We just reinvented it, you know?
Wow. Man, I can't think of a better way to end this show. You just took it back to the absolute essence, to a level I couldn't even. Man, I got
a better way to end the show.
Yeah.
Can we get a say turn it up?
Turn it up. Say turn it up.
That was actually from Wild Style movie. Yeah.
Right.
We kept telling the sound man to turn it up. So when it was our time to get on the stage, Waterbed Kev got on the microphone and told the sound man to turn it up. And then they started saying Puerto Rico, oh, that's where Puerto Rico ho came from. That's me and the Fantastic Five. You know?
Well, we're going to turn it up right now. We're going to debut this movie detailing and chronicling the invention of one of the most impressive, amazing inventions of the 21st century. And I want to just say, before we go into the movie, Theodore, thank you. We salute you. We really look forward to your induction ceremony. We'll obviously be in touch with you about which city, the museum will have your induction ceremony. And obviously, I'll be calling you probably at the beginning of next week to talk about, what unique, amazing, incredible item, you'd like to add to, your other items in the museum, because we want a really proper story told about, your impact. And you're so deserving of it. You're such a nice guy. Theodore, thanks for being with us today. And without further ado...
Before I go, I just want to give a shout out to Jimmy Splicer, Super Rhymes.
Keep him in his prayers.
He's not doing too well right now. I want to send my condolences to the family. I want to, send out, a shout out to the Jimmy Spicer's family, and we all definitely, in my prayers.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all thinking about Jimmy Spicer, and we want to hold him in the light and send some positive thoughts to him and his family. He had such a tremendous impact on hip-hop.
Yes.
Without further ado, we have an incredible movie, Itching for a Scratch, world premiere right now on Hip Hop in Action. Take it away, Itching for a Scratch.
down. Huh? Turn the music down. I'm trying to make a mixtape for school. A mix what? I don't care what you're mixing in here. You need to keep the music down. I can't hear myself think. Fine. Excuse you. Sorry. Talk to me like that.
When you scratch, don't push it off. When you scratch,
and you can move any way.
You let it go like this, all right?
Okay.
You let it go.
Okay.
There you go. Let it go, all right? Don't push it. Just just let it go. Because the most very important thing is to see your hands lift up off the record, all right?
Remember, we have to get his eye, and we gotta get his tight face. All right, and that's what that next line.
Stay on the beat. Stay on the beat.
And
there you go.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Now you look like a little DJ prodigy.
That's right. Yeah. First DJ prodigy.
Take your time. You're putting the tape in, which we're going to show. Turn around. Walk to the
Take your time. Take your time. Yeah.
Stop. Put your hand on it. Now go. All right.
Good job, man. Great job, buddy.
Good job. Good job.
All right, guys, we're going to help Milsa down with this.